Okay, so in the last video, I primed the helmet once, and then there were a few imperfections. So now after about 2 to 3 coats of body filler and primering, the helmet is very smooth and it's very rigid. So today I'll be painting the helmet with spray paint, and this is a 24 Isuzu blue. And painting the helmet, there are many ways to do it, but the more efficient way would be to go in one straight line like this. One straight line, you just spray and then head down to the other parts which isn't painted, because you don't just go and spray randomly like that, because it will cause it will make the paint uneven, and if you don't spray it in an orderly fashion, the paint will be runny, and then the paint will just form like little raindrops, and yeah, that's not what we want. So we want an even coat on the helmet. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is gonna shake the can for about a minute or so, and then can start painting this helmet. Okay, so after shaking the helmet, you can start painting the bottom first, and then we head to the top part of the helmet. So the bottom of the helmet isn't perfect, but no, it doesn't matter because no one is gonna see the inside anyway. So let's begin. Now you want to start off light coats. You don't want to just spray on one spot, because if not, this part will be very like the part here will be very thick, but then over here it's gonna be very thin. So you want an even coat inside and outside. And painting, whatever that you are painting, you don't just finish it in one coat. It's better to do it in maybe 2, 3 or 4 coats. It's better that way, because if you just go straight in one coat, it might get a little bit runny, and then the paint will just drip down, and then it won't be perfect. So it's best to just paint in a few coats. Just spray a little bit at the whole area, and then let it dry for a while. Maybe wait a few minutes, and then continue spraying the other parts again. And for the other side, over here, and when you're painting anything or spraying maybe paint or lacquer or whatever, remember to always wear a mask. This is not good for you. It will damage your lungs, and you'll die earlier. So remember, always wear a mask, and yeah, always take precaution in all these kind of things. You don't want your health to deteriorate. Okay, so yep, still a little bit white over there, so you just wanna just find the primer areas and then paint them blue. Okay, so we're done with the inside, so we're gonna spray the outside now, and that's the most important part. So make sure it's perfect. Okay, so I'll start with the front first, and then to the side, and then the back, and then the other side. Alright, so remember, spray it sideways like this, and then head downwards. Oops. And the top part, as I said before, you only want to, it's better to do a few coats. Right, so you don't want to just finish it in one coat because it will get runny. So this is counted as one coat already. So I'm gonna let this dry for a while. Then in a few minutes I'll come back and continue spraying it. And then I'll probably take about 3 to 4 coats before the helmet is fully painted. And then I'll add a stencil here for the capital A and the wing design on the side, on the left, on the right here, and the left. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, and the first coat of paint has already dried. So I'm gonna continue with the second coat, and after that, once the second coat dries, I'll carry on with the third coat. So let's begin. Okay, so the second coat has been applied. We're not 100% done yet. As you can see, there's still a few areas that are still unpainted, like over here and the areas around here. So I'm gonna leave that to dry, and then we'll come back with the third coat, and I think the third coat should be enough to fully paint the whole thing. And then once it's done, I'll leave it overnight to dry, and then on the next day we can start adding the stencil design on the side of the helmet and the capital A on the front of the helmet. So it's looking very good already, even if it's only about second coat. It's not even fully painted, but it really looks very good. So I'll come back in about maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll finish up the helmet with the last coat. 20 to 30 minutes has passed, and then now let's finish it with the last coat. Hopefully it'll be enough to fully paint the whole thing. So let's start. There's still about white spots here that need to be painted. So let's begin. Okay, and we are done. So yeah, it looks perfect, it looks great, yeah, it looks smooth. And then now I'll leave this probably about 24 hours, because paint takes about 24 hours to dry completely. And then after that I'll make a stencil for the design, and then after that seal the whole thing with matte coat, because the helmet originally doesn't have a gloss to it. It's more of like a matte finish. So I'll get a spray. It's a clear matte coat. It will make the paint, which is originally glossy, like this, glossy. Then it will turn the entire helmet to make it look more like a matte finish. So yeah, now just have to wait. The hardest part of painting whatever that you're painting is waiting for it to dry. So I'll finish this, once the paint is dry. A day has passed, and the blue paint has dried completely. And last night I made a stencil for the design, the capital A and the wing design over here. So I'll be using a primer, which is a gloss white. It's both primer and paint, so it works both ways. So I'll just lightly do a light paint over the design. So yeah, let's get started. And when doing stenciling, you want to cover pretty much everything, because you don't want any hard spots, because when you spray and then the area that you don't want it to get the primer on, the mist that comes out of the spray will get on the areas. Like, let's say you didn't cover here, and then you spray over here, there'll be mist that comes out from the spray, and then it might travel, and then it will hit this area. So yeah, I'll show you what I mean. So like, let's say if you just do a light spray like this, you can see that the mist will travel slightly. So you want to cover everything, so it protects your whole project. Alright, so let's spray here, and then here, and then the right side. Alright, just give it a while to dry slightly. Okay, back to the front. Alright, so the whole thing is even now. Like, just fill up the bottom a little bit. Alright, so the capital A is done. And lastly, the wing on the other side. Okay, and we're done. So I'll leave this about maybe an hour or so because primer dries quite quickly, and then just remove all the paper and the tape and the stencil, and we should be done with this helmet. Right, it's night time now, and the stencil for the paint has dried, and then I took off the paper and tape. You can see, right, the capital A and the wing design looks amazing. And I applied about 2 coats of the matte coat to it, so it isn't really as glossy as it was, but you know, overall it looks great. It looks awesome. I mean, you see, it's the whole helmet is smooth. Got the designs of the wing, the capital A, and the other side. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how the whole helmet turned out. Come on, get into focus. Alright, so I'm really happy with how the helmet turned out. No, I usually, when I sand things, it won't be as good, but you know, this is amazing. Oh man, hopefully I can do even better than this in my next build, like, cause I'm working on my Mark 6 Iron Man suit currently, and probably in future I'll get on to the Mark 7, cause like this helmet right here, this helmet will be the Mark 7. So yeah, here you go, Captain America's helmet.